We will never see a better version of this foot item. This guy is good at everything offensively. Maybe he's a god amongst men, or he's a demigod amongst men. This is Thor Jr., RoboCop, Terminator, Dest. He has that status. They almost look as if they cannot be real. These gotta be fake diamonds. What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If not, hit the LaBelle. Stop what you're doing today. It's future stars. We're going through all of them. I'm giving you the ranks, the ins, the outs, the information that you need to know. The beautiful collective. Yes, we speak like this on the channel. If you've never been here before, it's gonna be a different type of appreciation towards FIFA, descriptive comparisons and analogies in comparison to anywhere else on YouTube. Like the video! YouTube likes when you like this type of content. Plus, if you want me to run this up for the next iteration or the grouping of future stars, that tells me that was a good idea. Please put your opinion down below. Who have you been impressed with? Which players let you down? A lot of these guys got some hefty price tags. They're not cheap, but that did not come into my criteria. I'm ranking this solely off ability, not how much it's gonna hurt your pockets or how heavy set your pockets are. They got a little belly. Dad bod pocketeer. Okay? Are we here? We got players to talk about. Sit back, relax, get your popcorn or your Cheez-Its or your Pringles. Diogo Dalot, right back, 3-star weak foot, playing as a left back. This will surely present issues unless you're doing some sort of swapperoo while you're in game. I'm not saying that he's not gonna be good. In fact, this release, this promo in general around future stars, almost all of these players come in at a top tier quality or a little bit better. When I'm going through my evaluation, I'm watching reviews, I'm playing with, I'm playing against, I'm doing the all-encompassing research and due diligence. I was generally impressed. I'm not saying that we're getting enough content. I'm just saying that this release is decent. Maybe double decent. But I have to start out with somebody. And to me, this is the least useful player of the grouping in my starting 11. I got a lot of fullback options, and I don't want a right footer on the left side, ideally. Not with a 3-star weak foot. Lunin, not gonna spend a lot of time here. I think he's pretty good. 6'4", big body type, makes a lot of key saves, but you might completely disagree, and that's how goalkeepers differ from any other position, where it's more difficult to measure their success story or lack thereof. It's so opinionated, and if you've had a couple bad experiences with one goalkeeper, you will completely disregard what he did that was good for you, or consistent, or reliable, and then remember those times where he fell over, he gave up the rebound, he misplayed coming out, he wasn't reactive, and you say the guy's off. And I understand. I'm a FIFA player. I'm part of our community. I get it, but that's why he's here. Pedro, what was the movie? Vote for Pedro? Napoleon Dynamite. Well, I don't think this has that same type of dynamite. It's a little bit different when you have these two version foot items where it's almost a showdown. Choose which one you'd like to incorporate into your starting 11. I think the right wing is better than the center mid, but the lack of physical hinders his longevity, at least in the midfield. Also, the stamina being only an 86 for a center midfielder, that might not be enough, whether it's mid-term, short-term, long-term. Does it really make a difference? Yes, it does. And even for his right wing foot item, I feel as if we're getting a lot of wingers that are starting to look kind of similar. That doesn't mean their output or their performance is similar, and I'm just not that attracted to Pedro. I'm not drawn towards this foot item. And with these players that come in twos, they got pairings, a pick and go or a give and go or ins and outs. I've kind of looked at them as a grouping. That's my logic. Speaking of, Bruno, next up. We have the CDM and the center mid. I prefer the holding midfielder because neither of them are going to be special or impactful going forward. They're not going to score you a bunch of goals, so you might as well go with the guy that gives you more of the physical presence, at least as a lockdown defender. Even their dribbling statistics and agility and balance are nearly identical, so you're not really getting any sort of change, adjustment, different feel or experience or different ambiance, and the movement's still going to be relatively similar. I really wasn't impressed with either the Pedros or the Brunos or the Pedros. They're not going to make it into my starting 11 on a regular basis unless I was trying them out for the purpose of interest, content creation, and for you at home. Brewster. I hate his price, but this is not a value list. I think I've got him placed properly. EA is very clever because they released the end of the era Rooney, and then you needed a link, an English link preferred, an attacker to go with Wayne Rooney. This guy matches up well. He aligns. He's in that same period of time where you grab him off the marketplace. Well, in this case, the SBC. So you're never going to see those coins again. But if you're just going off the stats, the speed and the finishing, even the strength, it stands out. 5'11". I like his body type. I wish that he had the 4-star skills, skills, my biggest takeaway or negative liability or concern, disclaimer, is the price tags. 250,000 coins that I can never revisit. This would not be a quality vacation. Isak, he was a gem for yours truly. But I should lead off with, I'm pretty gifted with a lot of these big body unorthodox attackers. I love rule breaker Talisca, and I was hoping that Isak was going to rival him identically, maybe even a little bit better. He's more physical, has a 5-star weak foot, but he does not feel as quick with the turns and some of the intricate touches. Still good with dribbling. I didn't find him to be a liability. I wasn't disappointed, but I did have very high expectations. I still think number 9 is pretty fair. I scored a lot of different types of goals. He was great with finishing. I even scored finesse shots, and I know that his curve statistic isn't that high, which of course impacts the movement on those finesse shots. Obviously 6'4", you're not going to shift that. The point that I'm making, there might be some preference, but if you're able to play with guys that do have the skills and have a little more weight or a little more height, a little more size, a different variable on the pitch, I think you're gonna love him. But if not, you might come into the comment section and say, I could not get on with him. I thought that he was clunky. I didn't enjoy his turning. You also might not have given him enough minutes. You can't go from playing with Messi and then bring in Isak. That's not a fair comparison. What they do on the virtual pitch, it doesn't correspond. That's a different package. It went to the wrong address. Barnes. I don't use this word that often. Barnes is dope. We will never see a better version of this foot item. This guy is good at everything offensively. It really doesn't lack any of the key variables outside of maybe a little more innovation or creative play, just because he doesn't have the 4-star skills. And this sort of confirms how strong this release actually is with the future stars. The fact that Barnes is number 8, and I did do the combo ratings for the Brazilians and the Portuguese, the yin and the yang. We already talked about that. I'm not saying this promo has the strength of opening up a box of brand new Pokemon cards. I didn't make that statement, but multiple players would fit into anyone's squad. Dest, some of you want to see him higher. I think he's brilliant. He is perfect for that wingback role. If you're going to play a little more attacking, you need someone who's going to dive down that end line or dive down that sideline. Back and forth recovery. Feed some of your offensive players. Skill moves are there. Of course, an American. He's an elitist amongst men. Maybe he's a god amongst men. Or he's a demigod amongst men. This is Thor Jr. Spreading down the wings. His work rates might introduce an issue or a concern if you're a traditionalist with defensive measures. And what I mean by that, defending first. If you're looking to keep clean sheets, Dest is going to be out of position maybe more often than not. He's really a winger playing as a fullback, which is great for a 5 at the back wingback. And you might even consider him a superhero in that role. RoboCop, Terminator, Dest. He has that status. But if you want to sit back, you want balance, you want to count on positioning, it starts getting kind of debatable. Kulusevski, wow, wingback perfection, especially if you run the 5 at the back again. We've seen this man turn into a left back, 99 stamina. I think he's better than the stats, quite honestly. He's got that bruiser type, big body, 6'1", still has the skills, can give you that precise passing. He's a man that looks to counterattack. I've just been very impressed. It's a difficult player to review properly because statistically looks good, maybe even looks great, you're impressed. But I feel that he performs better than what you're getting as a visual aid when you pull up his statistics and you start to try to use that as a measurable. That's a positive. That's a compliment. Camavinga, the $2.3 million question. Would I pay that? No, I'm not making that investment. I still think that he's outstanding. We're talking big baller brand worthy. The future is bright, but he does have 2 concerns or 2 issues, 2 elephants that are in the room. They're sharing the room. 3-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves. And if you do bring in what it's going to cost you, and I'm not saying his statistics are fraudulent because there's a lot of them. They're not fake. Those are real stats. But if I'm paying 2 to 3 million coins, I want the skills. I want the weak foot. I got to have everything. Give me the total package. And I actually believe that people have been maybe a little bit disappointed with their initial expectation of Camavinga because the stats look so ridiculous. They almost look as if they cannot be real. These got to be fake diamonds. Some sort of precious metal. To recap, your life is perfect outside of the 3 and 3. Dominic, I don't want to touch that last name. I don't speak Hungarian. I have practiced this multiple times. It's not going well. He needs multiple nicknames, or we can just call him something else. Can we just call him Dom? Because he's definitely dominating offensively. You can play him in a lot of different roles and positions. Striker, winger, center attacking mid, 4-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Basically has everything. 6'1" with 95 sprint speed. This is a big old cheetah. 99 curve. Most slept on player of anyone in this list. Hence why I have him at number 4. This is a steal. Discount shopping for 5 to 600,000 coins. He might even drop farther down. The only way you could disagree that he's not a good value is if you don't believe in these statistics. You think he's fraudulent. This is like buying a Tesla and paying the price of an entry-level Volkswagen. James, please play him as a center back. This is the upgraded version of the Kyle Walker inform at a cheaper price tag. That English powder, that protein powder, before you take me out of context, because I know what you're thinking in the comments. They were starting to erupt. Even as a fullback, this guy is sort of a mad scientist that's been working out way too often. I mean, his dribbling is unparalleled as a center back. Just any of the defensive positions, just throw him into the ring or somewhere on the virtual pitch. Very impressive. Much better movement than you would expect for a center back. Even for a fullback, it's still well above average. But we've had some gifted and talented wingback type of players, which give you a bit of a different perspective as to how you can attack someone, the skills, some of the intricacies, these particulars that come naturally for more of a winger as opposed to more of a defensive first type of player. Bergwijn! How the hell did he get this item? 4 and 4? Massive upgrade. The guy has 94 strength. He's turned into an actual weapon. This is an agile tank. Where is his weakness? Good luck. You show me. Who does he know? Does Tottenham have a link up to EA Sports? This is a crazy upgrade. Big time vibes. Top of the charts. Maybe I have a bias as an American. I actually met Reyna maybe a year and a half ago. 99 agility, 95 balance, 85 stamina, 85 strength. That might have been a light flex. He was a nice guy. Curb finishing, composure, pace, passing. 6'1". Where is he lacking? What's the counter argument to Reyna? What didn't you like? Where did you say he needed to give you more of an output? Where were you disappointed? What left you asking for more? There's nothing. Put him into the starting 11. Let him do his job. Enjoy the experience. You will win more games. These are the facts. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to drop some love. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of my ranking or my selection regarding future stars? Which players really stood out? Whether it's positive, whether it's negative, or somewhere in between. And I have a lot more coming out ASAP.